Hey everyone, I'm Darryl from Adamson Auto Body, and today we're going to get this little rear pop-out glass in the Charger, and we've got the front door glass in, and I'll just show you there how it's starting to fit up now. You've seen me put it in, I think it was last episode, but now it's starting to fit really nice. I played with the adjustments on that door glass, so once it's on, it'll be really good, the rest of all that. So now what we'll do is we'll pop over to the bench, and I'm starting to prep this window up ready to get it in. But I'm happy with that at the moment. I've gone as far as I'll go there on the car at the moment. I want to have the other glass in those now so I can line them up and make sure I've got a real nice seal there. So let's pop over to the bench and I'll show you what I've done or I'm doing over here at the moment. So this is the rear quarter glass or pop out, whatever you want to call it. These are brand new aftermarkets. I think they're fairly good fit at the moment, the way I've gone about it all. So I've put this little locator on the back there. I've sourced through all the bits and pieces that we had to get the best one. That one's pretty good. So now what I've got to do to create a weather seal is use this stainless steel strip, and that's like almost a divider or a weather strip guide. That goes on the end of the glass like that. And then once it's on, what it has is this piece here. That's the actual weather seal that goes on the door glass. So that'll be inside there like that, inside that little track, and that'll keep that in place. When the door glass comes around, it'll shut onto that. But to get to that stage, what we have to do is get this piece on the actual door glass. And they can be fairly pedantic, and what I've had to do there is use what we call glass tape, and there it is there, or wet seal is another term that's used. And I've gone with two different widths because just not being sure with genuine to aftermarket glasses. Now this aftermarket glass is marginally thinner, it's a couple of mil thinner, so I've gone with a bit of a little bit thicker wet seal or window tape. So I've got it in the track there. I've had to trim it down to size, got it all in where I want it to go. Now the tricky part is to get this onto the glass, and they can be a bit of a problem. So I'll have a bit of a crack here at that. Just take my time, make sure it sits in that track, and if I can get it to start where I need it to be, then you've got to actually bang them on gently with a rubber hammer. They can be problematic. We'll just see how we go with this one. A very tight fit. Make sure I've got that going in, it's not overlapping itself anywhere, because then it will become an issue. At the moment it looks pretty good, so let's try and force that on a little bit more. Very tight fit. That is super tight, that one. And gently bump that on with the rubber hammer very carefully. Let's have a look, see, make sure my rubber's going in the nice and correct the way that it should. But that's super tight, that, and they have to be tight because once they're on, that's what holds them actually together, those two pieces, is the fact that they're a real snug fit, and this one is very snug. Be careful I don't damage that stainless strip there. Try and get it on at the same time. Check my rubber, More glass tape, make sure it's going in nicely where I want it to go. It's really snug, alright, that I've got to be super careful with that. See me, it's just one of those jobs, slowly you've just got to work it on bit by bit. They are very, very tight, but as I said, they have to be, for the fact that they have to seal, and also it holds, well, the actual glass tape holds this finishing strip on the glass. That's the whole principle of it. Super, super tight. That looks like it's pretty good there. It's just about where I want it to be. I've got right height. I have to have this glass finishing really correctly up here with this finishing mould, so I've got that where I want it to be. And that determines how it sits in the car when it's on. And it's all to do with the mounting points. So at the moment, it's gone just about where I need it to be. Maybe a tiny little bit more, super carefully. I've seen guys, they will stick these in with urethane, Sikaflex, silicone, all sorts of stuff. It's really not probably the correct way to go, but it will work if you use a good polyurethane, and it makes it a lot easier that way than doing it like this. But I like to try and put it back to factory spec, if you like. I think I'm there with that. It feels pretty good. So the next thing will be mounting it on the car. I've got a few little bits and pieces to put that on with, and you'll see me when I do that. But at the moment, I don't think I can get that any better than that. I think it's pretty good. Okay, so it's all fitted up there. I've got that retaining strip on, and also a little mould there at the bottom that holds the bottom of the window in. Also this one as well, which retains it at the back. And that's for when the window pops in or out, if you like. That's the hinge for it. So let's get it in there now, and we'll just see how it fits up. Now I've got a little bracket up the top here, which actually retains the top of the glass. And it's hidden up inside that rubber channel. Just got to get that pivot point in there. That's him. It's in there. Good to go. Now sit the window up in that rubber. You have to sit up in there like that to make them fit. So in it goes. Now I've got a couple of bits of tape here. So what I like to do when it's sitting there, so it doesn't fall on me and hit the ground until I get it all held in place with the little fasteners. A couple of bits of masking tape just to help me as another helping hand, if you like. The safety catch. So that'll do the job there. Now I've got a couple of self-tappers that go inside to hold that little hinge and retain it in at the back. So we'll get those in. one started here at the top. That'll help hold the back of that window in, so I don't want any issues with it actually falling out and hitting the ground. That won't be a good scenario. But they've got basically they've got 3 mounting points. You've got this rear one, as I said, and that's the little hinge for the pop-out style window. So that's held in with a couple of self-tappers that I'm putting in at the moment there. And then you've got the top little bracket at the very front there at the top. That's like a pivot point. Right, so that's got that at the back there. Now what we have here at the front, another little mounting point. And they can be a very tight fit actually at the front. The way they work, you can see then they go in and out those windows, they'll come right out. I've got that held there at the back. Now the front here, they're a very tight little corner here to make them fit in. So you've got to have that window up in that rubber to position them right. Like that, needs to be pushed right up. And the bracket, as I said, up in the front here, it's like a swivel point or a hinge point at the front of that window and a retainer, which just holds it all in place. They're very tight fit, especially this one here. Get those couple of screws in. And they're only very minute, tiny threads. I've got to be careful with these. A little locating bracket inside that quarter can be used to move that window around or not. But when they're in, yeah, they're fairly tidy. They look good. They're a nice setup, but to get them in, they're a bit of work, a bit of time involved. But that is basically the principle of how it goes in. It's pretty simple once you've got all your bracketry and everything in position. So that now is sitting in. So that's how they go in. Now here at the back, I've got my, as I said, my little hinge. I can pull that window in a bit tighter, like so. That's what they're all about, to seal it. Get rid of that masking tape off there now. And there it is in. It's going to work out pretty good. So that strip there are a bit of a mission, because you've got, you know, that's that weather seal at the front there that I fitted on, and this bit in, I showed you earlier, that's the glass tape inside that retaining strip. Very, very tight fit. So I'll just shut the door now and see how that's going. I really haven't adjusted any at this stage, so we'll just see in the first shut. Not too bad at the moment, considering I haven't adjusted anything. So a little bit wide at the top, but probably not. By the time I take the gap at the bottom there, make it a little bit wider, that window is going to fit in pretty good, because it's nice around the bottom, up the back, pretty good around the top seal, and the door glass also is pretty good at this stage. And now it gets to the technical point where I start to adjust things and make it all work. The window looks a little bit grubby there at the moment, because I've had a few handprints all over that, because I've had some grease, rubber grease in there to try and make all that slot in for me. But there it is, that's the door glass, the rear pop out, or the rear quarter, that you can get an idea of how they're all fitted up now. But as I said, now it's time to do some adjustments, make it all fit. And now that I've got all that in, I can actually get my door where I want it to be. So I'm pretty happy with that. It's come up good actually, considering I've just sat it in and screwed it in. I haven't really, like I said, played with any adjustments. All right, so I'll carry on now and I'll do the fine tune of it all, make sure it all seals, lines up, and that'll be that. Then I can go around and start on the driver's side.
Pops, the car's looking mint with those windows in it, mate.
Yeah, no, I like it. I mean, for that style of car, with that tint on that glass, it really suits this car, and it's going to look cool when it's finished. But it gives it a whole nother look already with that glass in there, and things like that little stainless strip there, that retainer, it just finishes it when it gets the mould around the roof, the whole bit and everything on it. It's going to be a cool car.
You can see how like it looks like that mafia style in the windows there.
Bit gangsterish.
Yeah, it's got that gangster look. All black would look tough, eh?
Yeah, no, the Chargers were a pretty cool car back in the day because you had the two-door Falcons, the Monaros, the Chargers. They're all competing for that little bit of car country or territory, so they made them look good. But yeah, that's starting to come together well now. So I'm happy that I've got that line up at this stage. It's only early days, and now I've got all the refinements to play with.
But you're right. How good does the green tinge look with
Looks
that
trick?
Yeah, and the glass.
Yeah.
So that's. Yeah, Byron did the right decision there. With that really will go with the purple.
Absolutely it will.
Mate, how do you feel you've got those windows fitting?
I'm actually pretty wrapped because it's been a job. It's been a real mission to find all those bits. We had nothing to start with.
It's getting hard to find parts for these cars, guys. We appreciate everybody that's emailed us as well with information about the doors so far. Thank you for that. That's it for this one, Pops.
Righto, I'll carry on now and I can play with all my adjustments, but it's a good feeling to have that glass in this side.
I bet it is.
Catch you everyone on the next one. I hope you enjoy this one. Cheers.
See you, everybody. Have a good one.